Hey, shalom, shalom. Halayla tawab la atam, which is good night unto you all. Nakna bari sha'ala hawalakim la atam. Call shabawai ba racha wa kakshaw yahwa ba sham yahwa ma math, which is certainly. Hey, with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Nachamatam, Kayaha, Malak al Hashamayim, Kwara, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Halayim La, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Rcha Kodash, Wamashana, Kabadim Zaklaim Now, Wamala Shaw, Yashala Zaklaim Rcha Gadawa, Wachasa, Washalamam, Wabrakim Laha, Bacharim Shaha. Gayash Shalom. So all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means he exists by Hashem in the name Yahweh Shah. He delivers double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which goes into peace. All right. So Hayawam, today, we're going into the letters Kwa, La, Sha, which is Kwa, Tu, Sha. So the letters Awat, which is letters. Bahalat Bayath. All right, in the alphabet, Awat is letter or a sign or a symbol. All right, it's going to be Kwa, Ra, and Sha. All right, we're going to start with Kwa. All right, and it says Kwa. All right, the word that corresponds with it is Kwap. It says sun on horizon, call, time, circle. All right, we're just going to break this down through the spirit. I don't want to zah, it's edifying. So, getting into it. Let's go to this right here. It says Quap. It says condense and circle, shrink, leap, close. It says sun, curdle, crystal. It says anguish. Definition: as the sun travels through the sky, it marks, speaks, commands the times and seasons. Genesis 1 and 14. Barashith 1 and 14. It says the condensing of light at the sun when at the horizons and condensing of milk into curdles are going around at the sun from one horizon to the other. It says the pictograph Kwa is a picture of the sun at the horizon. The Pa is a picture of the mouth combined. These mean sun speaks. All right, and that's what ultimately it gets into. And then also right here it says Kwawap, at going around of the sun from one horizon to the other. All right, so let's get some precepts. Second, this is Genesis chapter 1 and verse 14. It says, and the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. All right, so it's two lights. All right, you got the sun and you got the moon. All right, the moon does not reflect off of the sun. All right, the moon has its own light, as it says in Bon Sirach. All right, but continuing on, going to the point. All right, it says, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons. All right, I said for signs. So going back, it says, right here, it says the picture of the sun at the horizon is the picture of the mouth. It says combined, these means sun speaks. Or if you go to the definition, it says that the sun travels through the sky, it marks, speaks, commands. All right, so what's another word for a sign? All right, a mark. All right. So that's why it says, and let them be for signs, all right, because essentially the sun speaks, and it speaks by being a sign of the firmament of the heavens. Going back to this right here, it says, and let them be for sign, and let them, in the verse 14, Genesis 1 and 14, the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. All right, so the sun has this particular sign that it has for the earth. It has a season for the earth. It has days, and it also it pretty much marks the days. That's how you do that's how you measure the hours of daylight. That's why the scriptures say, all right, first hour, second hour, third hour. Because the sky is divided into 12 parts, and that's why when you look at a clock, all right, it essentially has 12 different hours, and that's because it's first hour, second hour, third hour. Like the scriptures say, the 11th hour servant, almost that last hour, but continuing on, let's get this. Let's get Psalms, Thaholim chapter 113 and verse 3. It says, from the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, from From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised. So continually all day. All right, I'm going to get another precept just proving that point. This is Quahalat Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and we'll get verse 5. It says, the sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. That's a circuit. That's a circle. All right, because when you go back to this, right here, all right, it says, when you look at Qua, it says circle. All right, and it also says time, because that has a it deals with time. You know, from the sun, from the rising of the same, going back to the scripture that we just got right here, it says, the sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. That's dealing with time, you know. So let's get Matthew. Get Matthew chapter 27. And verse 45, it says, now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land unto the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. All right, because that was the prophecy fulfilled in Psalms, the 22nd chapter. It says, that is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? All right, so essentially going into how it goes up to the 12th hour. You know, it's first hour, second hour, third hour. That's why when you look at noon, when they say high noon, that's when the sun is at the highest point. You know, over the day sky. All right, let's get this. Let's get Psalms Tahoyim chapter 19, and we're gonna start at verse 4. And it says their line is going out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. All right, so verse 5, all right, that's talking about Yahushua. You see, in the scriptures also call him the son of righteousness, roughly paraphrasing. You see, so this is ultimately getting to how this word went forth through the vehicle of the internet. You know, from the broadbands and the different lines going from the satellites to whatever different media sources that people use. You see. But then it could also be ascribed to the actual son as well, you know, because Yahushua is that son of righteousness. I'm gonna get that real fast. This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 2. It says, but unto you that fear my name shall the son of righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. You see, so Yahushua is likened to the sun, which the sun represents wisdom. You know, if I'm not mistaken, that represents wisdom. You know. But nevertheless, continuing on, let's get go back to Psalms Tahoyim chapter 19 and verse 4. It says, their line is going out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And in them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoices as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. You see, and chiefly, you know, when Yahushua returns, you know, he is that bridegroom. You see, and then also, this can be likened to the sun, the actual sun. I'm going to get this in the NLT. It says, the sun rises at one end of the heavens and follows its course to the other end. Nothing can hide from its heat. And that's another way that the sun speaks, going into this right here. It says to call. When you call somebody, you speaking to them. That's how the sun speaks. Right here, it says, the pictograph is a picture of the sun at the horizon. The pa is the picture of the mouth. Combined, these mean sun speaks. All right, and the sun speaks by the heat. That's why it says right here, it says NLT, the sun rises at one end of the heavens and follows its course to the other end. That's a circuit, quap, a circle. You see, nothing can hide from its heat, and that's how it speaks. And also going into how the sun speaks. You know, nothing can hide from the sun's heat. You know, right here it says going around of the sun from one horizon to another, to the other. All right, going back to this right here, that's a circle, that's a circuit. That's why it says circle and sun on the horizon, because if you look at Quap or Qua, this side on the right, this side on the right of Qua, that's the east. If you was to follow that circle, that would be the west. And that dividing line divides the east and the west, because the sun rises in the east and sets on the west. That's why it goes into time, because it takes time for the sun to go across the horizon sky, and it's in 12 parts. You got 12 hours of daylight. All right, but then it also goes into that call, because the sun speaks, you know. symbolically. All right, then it says sun on the horizon because essentially the sun again rises on the east, sets in the west, and it's a circle going back to Quahalat Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 5. I'm gonna get it again. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 5, it says, the sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down and hasteth to his place where he arose. That's a circuit, you know. And it's a lot. I'm gonna get this. Give me a second. Let's get we'll get Exodus chapter 34, and we get verse 22, and it says, I'm gonna get this word for in because it's related to quap. And it says coming around circuit of time or space, a turning. It says from a revolution, i.e. of the sun, course of time, lapse, circuit. All right, because the sun has a circuit, you know, which the daylight hours go off of the sun, you see. But when we talk about the moon, that measures the month. All right, the moon measures the month, you see, because going back to this is Genesis 1 and 14. It says, and the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. The moon rules in the nighttime. It says, and let them be for signs. All right, because a sign, a mark, all right, on how you can mark time in the daytime is through the sun. Because in the ancient world, they would measure the time. They would set sundials, and then also they would watch the sun to see what part of the sky was in. Because if you was to divide, to divide it into 12 parts, the sky is divided into 12 parts. You know, you get the first hour, the second hour, the third hour, the fourth hour, the fifth hour, so on and so forth. All right, and the moon, that marks the sun, like the scriptures say, Ban Sarat, that marks the seasons. All right, the different seasons, the feast. You know, like on the new moon, that brings in the new Shabbat. All right, so both of these have a purpose, you know. And it's not just all. It doesn't go off of how Esau does it. You know, he took a circle and divided it into 90. You know, he had 4 parts of 90. That's where he gets the 365 days. But that's off. You know, the year is marked off of the moon. All right, it's like 29.5 days in a month. You know, so going off his calendar, it's like it changes. That's why he got to have a leap year. You know, but that's the incorrect use of the sun for its purpose. All right, it was made, all right, to be a sign and mark the different daylight hours and the various different other things that the Lord created it for. All right, I'm gonna get a quick precept though, just land back on that point. This is Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 15. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Hey, the scriptures say, like, we're gonna get out of Tazah, you know, that pretty much the devil's been exposed. All right, it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding. Hey, so you can't do that, you know. They pretty much, these devils, they pretty much, like I said, to reiterate, you know, they took a circle because the sun is related to a circle. It goes in a circuit. They took that, they divided that by 4. All right, you would get 90 parts. All right, and those 90, it's 90 days in each season. All right, you got winter, summer, fall, spring. You see, but in our seasons they differ from what actually they push, going off of the seasons in the off of the sun. You know, that will be off. You know, and if I'm not mistaken, that goes back to the Julian calendar. You know, but nevertheless, continuing on, let's get that point. Let's get Second Thessalonians chapter 2, we give verse 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way, and then shall that wicked be revealed. Hey, he's been revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, because this light is shining bright on this man's kingdom, man. He's been found wanting. You know, he hasn't been ruling his kingdoms in righteousness, and shall deliver with the brightness of his coming. Hey, because this is the son of righteousness, you know, talking about referring to Yahweh Shah. You know, the scriptures say that he's going to wound the heads of many kingdoms, wound the heads of many nations. I'm going to get that. or something like that. This is Salah. Yeah, I can't find it, but pretty much the scriptures say that the Lord is coming to take the crowns of these kings, you know. So going back, it says 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. It says, whom the Lord, in the latter, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Because pretty much the Lord is coming to destroy these heathens. All right. Now we're moving on to from Qua. All right, the next one will be Ra'ash. All right, which Ra'ash goes into the head. You see. All right, and this is Ra'ash, and it says I'm gonna actually go to it. Slakla, y'all, give me a second. All right, right here. It says the top of the body. We right here. It says the top of the body, head, Ra'ash, the top of the body, a person in authority or role or leader. It says top, beginning, first, chief, best, raise, edenics, which is the study of words. So raise in English actually comes from Ra'ash, with the exchange of S and the SH, head, chief, top, beginning, company, captain, some, first, principal, chapters, rulers. You see? So that goes into the best of his class. And that's why the scriptures call Yahweh Shah Ra'ash, the head of man, which that goes into Ra'ash is the top of the body. All right, when we actually break this word down, all right, that Ra, the first two characters, Ra goes into the top of the body. And when you look at the symbol, it looks like a head. Ra, this is the top of the body. That that would be Allah, which is the strength, the first, the header. Then it says Shah, which is Shanan, inculcate, teach diligently. So when you break this word down, it would be the top of the body has the strength to teach diligently. That's why when you go to a job or some type of company, you like, all right, where's the manager? Let me speak to the manager, because the manager has say so over the other workers. Just like wherever you go, all right, they always say, all right, well, who's in charge? Who's the head? Who's the top? Who's the head of the command? You know, because they pretty much want to know who has influence over those to make decisions. That's in the rest of the body. All right. So then it says raise, which it means to lift or move to higher position to increase the strength of. All right. Then it says head of man. We'll get that, Lord's willing. And I also got a word written that's related to Ra'ash, head. It says relation to chief of greatest importance or influence, the leader. All right. Which that has influence over the body. All right. So let's get this. This is where am I at? Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 11. We'll get verse 1. It says, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Hamashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. So the head of every man is Hamashiach. That's why I said Ra'ash, the head of man. All right, it went back to Ra'ash, head of man. That's the head, the highest. He's also the beginning. That's why scriptures say he pretty much had he was the first created creation, so he could have preeminence over all the other creations, roughly paraphrasing. Then it says the highest. That's the position that he got from the Most High Yahweh. All right. So let's get some more precepts. This is Matthew, Matthew chapter 12, and we can get verse 29, and it says, or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. And that's what they did to the Israelite family. They took the man out of the picture, and they was able to conquer the nation. All right, because ultimately the women and children are left to Esau Edom's disposal, because the head is out of the picture. Ra'ash, the head. All right, which that goes into the letter Ra Awath Ah Baha Allah Bayath. All right, the letter Ra in the alphabet. Okay, so let's get this. This is Mark. Damn. This is This is Mark. Mark chapter 3. And we get verse 27, and it says, "No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house." And again, that's what they did to the Israelite household. You see, they pretty much removed the man, gave pretty much put him in jails and whatever else enterprise had whatever other enterprise Esau set up for the man to get him out of the household. They also, with the Israelite woman, they say, okay, how much money do you make? You see, because if the man wasn't in the household, essentially, Esau becomes that new head, and he can pretty much rule over the Israelite nation. You see, because it's more women in the nation, and women, pretty much they have compassed the man. You see, so it puts with the man out of the picture. All right, and with the woman somewhat in the so-called head position. All right, really it will be Esau in the head position. All right, and the woman after her, she pretty much pushes forth his enterprise. That's why you see the books like Goodbye Uncle Tom. It was the Willie Lynch letter, Making of a Slave. You see, because essentially they pretty much can use the woman for whatever they want to do. They can give them food stamps, they can give them the Section 8 with all the different goodies, the benefits and stuff like that, if the man is not in the picture. You see, and that's because the man is the head, Ra'ash. All right, and truthfully, if a man was in order, that will be a strong, that will be what they call a nuclear family, and that's essentially why Esau broke that up, because these nations like to keep us at the bottom. So that's essentially why Esau did that. Now continuing on, let's get we're going to get Genesis, Barashith, chapter 8 and verse 5. And it says, "And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. And the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen." You see, so the tops of the mountains were seen. Hebrew is a very poetic language. It's a very meticulous and metaphorical language as well. Which all the letters can be likened to Yahweh in some way, shape, or fashion, because he is Ra'ash, all right, the head of man. All right, he also is can be likened to Quap, all right, the pretty much going into the sun. All right, he's the light that shines. All right, Shah, going into the teeth. All right, all the letters can be likened to Yahweh Shah. He created the Hebrew, But nevertheless, this is Genesis chapter 8 and verse 5. It says, "And the waters decreased continually into the 10th of the month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountain seen." You see, so the tops, what's at the top will be Ra'ash, the summit. That's why they call it a mountain summit, because it's at the top, because it acts as the head of that mountain, So next, that was Ra'ash, Shana Ra'ash, which Shana means to repeat or to change or to alter, to double, to say again. All right. So we're going to go to back to this. And the last one we have is Shan, which is the teeth. All right, what Shan goes into Salah. Shan goes into the number is 300. All right, which it will be it says Shalasham Ahayam. You can also say it Shalash Ma'ayim. All right, which that will be 300, or Shalash Ma'ah 300. So your teeth, Shan, all right, Shah goes into to press, Na goes into continue. So to teeth continue, all right, because your teeth are hard bony appendages on the jaws used for chewing and forming sounds for talking. All right, we got two examples of this. This is Genesis chapter 49. And verse 12, and it says, "His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk." All right, which your teeth are white, but then also when you look at the letter Shah is 2 front teeth. All right, that's why it looks like it goes into Shan. All right, another example we have of that is we can get Isaiah Yashaya chapter 41 and verse 15, and it says, "Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing." So like, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small and make the hills as chaff. Ultimately going into spiritual power, you see, but it can also be likened to actual teeth, because your teeth, symbolically, they or and literally too, if you was to chew food, you have big food and then it goes into smaller pieces, you see. So that's what the elect is going to do, um, um, literally, and through the spirit, pretty much devour, these heathen in 2/3, make them smaller. That's why it says, "Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small and make the hills as chaff." And what do teeth do? They make stuff smaller. That's why when you go back to this, it says, it says, teeth are sharp and they press and they devour. You see all of this. That's why the scriptures. That's why the Ha'alat Bayat, the alphabet, can be likened to Yahweh Shah. All of these, Pa, I, all right, Samak, support. Na, continuous, Si, a son, Mayam, Lamad. All of the letters can be likened to Yahweh Shah. And the scriptures also go into this. I'm gonna get this. It's going into that point. This is Isaiah Yashaya chapter 46. We'll get verse 10, and it says, "Declaring the end from the beginning and the ancient times," and declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, "My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." And Ha'alat Bayat, the alphabet, is also declared from the beginning. It's declared from the beginning to the end, or from the ancient times. Pretty much going to the same scripture. It's declared from the beginning. The end was prophesied from the beginning. And it's circular in nature. It all connects. All right. Going back, let me get this. This is John chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was the Most High." Or "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was power. The same was in the beginning with the Most High." All right, there goes that word beginning. He was the first created, Ra'ash. All right, the best. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Because he essentially was, he got the blueprint from the Most High Yahweh. Yahweh Shah created the Hebrew. He got the blueprint for all the creation. And again, all the letters can be likened to Yahweh Shah. You see, so again, Shana. All right, we covered Sha La, Kwa La Sha. All right, we went from Kwa to Ra to Sha. You see, so Adawan Tazah, Zabanaya Palo is with us, a beautiful edification through the spirit. Wa Adawan Tazah, Adam Yashlayla Tawa. Lord's will, you all have a good night. Wa Halayla Tawa, La Adam, good night unto you all. Shalom, 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 lakam. Peace unto you all. Shalom.